Hi, I'm Greg Harman from Second Thoughts East Yorkshire. In video cast number 4, I spoke about one of the main causes of anxiety being the loss of control over your life, feeling like you're being swept along by events without having any say on what, how and when things are happening. If you remember, I attached a form to the video cast asking people to answer 6 questions, and I said I'd tell you some of the answers. I've accredited some of the answers to people who said that was okay to do so, and I've anonymised other answers where people preferred not to be credited directly. So the first question was, how are you planning your day and what activities are you doing to help to keep your mind occupied? Kat said, getting up, showered and dressed, doing housework for a while, setting times for tea breaks and chatting to friends. Diane said, I've been walking the dog on the allotment, so finding lots of little jobs to do and planting seeds there. Angela said, I start the day with some exercise. With not going to the gym, I'm going up and down the stairs instead of using a treadmill, and I use tins of food as weights. Where there's a will, there's a way. I talk to my son on WhatsApp, but I ring my mum on her landline because she doesn't do any technology very well. As a plus, my house is the cleanest it's ever been now too, so everything's not too bad. Ron told me I'm isolating, but I live where I work in a hotel, so doing maintenance and keeping the garden in order to take up my time is working really well for me. Finding things to do when I'm not busy is the challenge, but I'm taking advice and doing a little writing about good things that have happened in the past. Question number 2 was, when you feel your mood dipping, what do you do to lift it, and does it work? Kat said, I try not to comfort eat, and there's a real temptation for us all to do that. I go into my garden and look at my plants starting to return because it's the spring. I look for beauty around me, and I think about what I have and not what I don't have. Diane said, I drink calamine tea and put a good comedy film on whilst knitting or sewing, if I start to worry, and that works well for me. Mike does meditation. He said there are a few websites on with good content, and he finds that helps to slow things down, helping to reduce anxiety. Jen is finding social distancing difficult, and she lives on her own. As well as ringing her family and talking to them on Facebook, she's writing letters to them and her friends to give to them in person when things get back to normal again. Some good ideas there. Question number 3 was, what are you doing to keep in touch with other people? And is it helping you to not feel quite as alone during these testing times? Everyone who answered this said they're using phones to maintain contact with family and friends. Some said they use social media, mainly Facebook. Personally, I've been using WhatsApp and Zoom for both work and to keep in touch with family. Hearing voices from your friends and family is great, it's good to hear them, but seeing the faces seems more real, it's more personal, more human. One thing to remember with all of this is that we're all in the same boat, albeit in separate cabins. Question number 4 was, imagine that you were your future self and these times have passed with things settled. What advice would you give to your present self now as reassurance? Diane said, I'd tell myself to make the most of this time off work to get jobs done around the house and garden and have some power naps. Good advice. Anne said, I'd tell myself not to watch so many news bulletins, they bring your mood down. I'd also say, don't take so much notice of all those people online who think they're medical experts, or even worse, those people who feel that they're invulnerable and that they're safe to do anything they want and carry on life as normal. Alan said, I'd tell myself, there you are, I knew all of that being anxious all of the time would come in handy. When the time came for you to be in control, you managed it well, better than you thought you would. I knew you could do it. Question number 5. If I were sat with you now, what would you talk to me about and what more can I do to help to support you? Tammy said, I'd open up more about my concerns and enjoy face-to-face chatting because I'm missing that so much. Diane said, I'd like to talk to you about moving home and living right next door to my allotment, which is fantastic, wow. Mary said, it would be nice to sit and talk about my anxiety, but about the weather or anything else but this virus. To have a hug at the end of our meet would be so good too. That would be great, to actually have that interaction again and see people face to face. John said, keep on doing the video cast, I'm finding them really helpful. Thanks for that, that's a nice message, thank you. Finally, question number 6, I said, either write a really short story or a poem, or give me a quote that I can record to cheer other people up. Be creative. Mark said, keep on keeping on. Anne said, there are a lot of us in the same situation. Keep strong and have faith in love and humanity. Diane quotes from a poem called The Glory of the Garden by Kipling, which she thinks wonderful. And it goes like this. There's not a pair of legs so thin, there's not a head so thick. There's not a hand so weak and white, nor yet a heart so sick. But it can find some needful job that's crying to be done, for the glory of the garden glorifieth everyone. That's lovely. It's a really nice poem. Thank you to everybody who took part in this. I hope the answers will give us all something to help us to get through it and maybe make this social distancing a little easier, because it is difficult, it's challenging, but we'll get there in the end. I'll be back soon, so take care of yourself and each other and speak soon. Bye bye.